Welcome to Vator Box, the show where we rate your pitches. I'm Bambi Francisco, and today our guest is Kirill Makarinsky. He is the co-founder of UNoodle, which is a community for startups, and of course we have John Chenal, our managing editor, and Ezra Roizen, a digital media investment banker who always is who's one of our regulars for Vator Box. Today we're going to be talking about sites that help you discover, one that helps you discover music, and the other that helps you discover, well, dates. And as usual, we're going to have John introduce the companies, and I will be the keeper of the iPhone because we'll have 5 minutes to discuss these companies.
Okay,
so, John, take it away.
Keep it moving fast. Okay, first up, we've got iLike. It started out as a music discovery service, a way to find new bands, unsigned bands. They've really morphed into more than that now. They've got 20 million registered users, and they've got more signed artists who are really allowing the artists themselves to communicate with their fans and stuff like that, becoming a bit of a social network. So let's look at the pitch, and then we'll discuss.
iLike is probably best known, at least in the US, as being the provider of music on Facebook, but we actually, in addition to our Facebook presence, have iLike.com, and in the last few months have syndicated onto multiple other social platforms and miraculously managed to replicate the same success we've had on Facebook on High5, which is the very dominant social platform in Latin America and parts of Europe, on Bebo as well, and coming soon on Orchid, we're going to be launching soon. And so our presence, which many of you might have only seen via adding music to your Facebook profile, is now available in multiple countries in a few different languages and multiple social platforms. We just passed, I think, 22 million users, and we're signing up about 1 million users every 10 days or so, or every couple of weeks. So it's growing enormously fast.
Okay, so you said more than 22 million users, growing super fast. I think you said 1 million new users a week. That's what your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, first off, Ollie is a great guy, and he's done a great job building this company, and if any entrepreneur deserves the success, it's Ollie. And starting with GarageBand, I covered them 3 years ago when they launched GPal, which was the precursor to iLike. They were the first at the gate for Facebook, had huge success when Facebook platform opened up, and now it sounds like what's interesting is they're beginning to talk about, as you listen to Ali, stretching beyond just their Facebook now model into other social networks, and then also into directly connecting the community with the artists. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how they evolve from just being a Facebook sharing app to what sounds like a more broadly based connection community.
Yeah, great example of something that started on Facebook and really launched from there.
He's now stretching its wings.
Yeah, I mean, interesting is the right word there, because a lot of people forget that they're quite a successful site before Facebook, and which actually, if you look at their Alexa graph, which isn't the best measure of success, but their traffic actually dipped quite significantly after the platform launch, and very few people realized that, and they really came to lie the Facebook platform. But at the same time, they've got a pretty good website independent of that, and they've just got to be careful as they move forward how they transcend these networks, and they've got to establish themselves across them in the right way. So,
yeah, and for me the question would be, is the end game being a big widget, or is the end game using a widget as a marketing platform?
I don't see the billion-dollar opportunity yet. I mean, that's why it's interesting what's going to happen in the next.
Well, I think they're moving, beyond Facebook, and yes, you're right. Every single widget, every single application on Facebook actually got a lease on life after they got onto Facebook, including iLike. But they're on High5, as he said, High5 and Bebo, and they're going to be on Orchid, so they're going to cross many social networks. So
yeah, it's part of an interesting broader trend. We talked to Blurb here earlier in an interview that'll come out soon, but the idea of allowing people who may not have been able to make a living in some type of entertainment or publishing, whether it's book publishing or whether it's music, but to find an audience. And the web is doing that, allowing people to communicate directly, sell their stuff directly. So that broad trend, these guys sit at a really good spot there. I mean, there's just a lot of growth that's going to happen because more and more people are saying, hey, I want to write a book, I'll go on Blurb. Hey, we're an unsigned band, we've been hitting the garage, let's try it on iLike. I mean, it's more than that now, but still, this trend is sort of driving the growth. Business model, though? What's
interesting to me is that there's all these funds now that are launching and supporting and helping to grow Facebook widgets. what I take away from Ollie's video is that when a Facebook widget grows up, it doesn't really want to be a Facebook widget anymore. And so the question is, what
want to
do
be
those
an
things
advertising
become?
network.
Yeah, did they become an advertising network? Some of them doing that, Rock You, has basically said they want to become an advertising network to other Facebook widgets. Maybe iLike, it sounds like, it's really becoming more of a community and becoming a destination portal and driving people back to its own site. And so I think the question becomes, is being a Facebook widget an end game in terms of what companies want to aspire to be, or is it actually a stepping stone to some other thing that they actually end up doing?
I highly doubt that companies that create applications on Facebook believe that that's an end game. It is a stepping stone. It's a way for them to ignite traffic and grab users. It's getting 1 million unique users a day or a week, as you said, and as you pointed out, Carol, its traffic is definitely accelerated. I doubt it's an end game. Actually, and let me throw this out. This is going to be interesting. I was looking at sort of EMI and Universal and how they started off. And EMI started as a company that actually created equipment for the recording industry. And now they're a big label. And what they're doing, what iLike is doing, is actually something that record labels do today, which is provide the marketing, provide the PR, provide basically everything you need to connect to the artist. What they're doing is a different marketing tool. It's fan-based marketing. So you could conceivably see this company as being somewhat of a new era, new age record label. Maybe they'll move into creating,
because they've got
producing,
bands on there, they've got the fans on there.
Producing for artists.
Maybe they can do what MySpace should have done. I mean, when MySpace started initially, they really were behind the bands, and they created these communities of bands, which MySpace in many ways is a huge, or has the potential to become a huge record company in its own right, given how much data is going through there around the musicians themselves. And it seems that he's a smart guy. I've met him several times. I know he can execute on it, but they really need to get behind the fans like they're trying to do.
Last thoughts from these guys? Anybody in terms of revenue?
If they focus on their mission. I mean, Ollie said that he wants to enable artists to connect with their fans. If they continue to focus on that, then they might be successful, and maybe they will move into other areas and dominate.
I would be happy to own a few shares of iLike, so I'm sure whatever they do, it's going to work out well. They know the business. They've been hammering against the music industry wall with technology for a long time, and so I have no doubt that they'll figure it out, and they have a massive subscriber base that's growing fast.
No, it's hard to argue with the growth, very much so. Okay, so pretty much people feeling good about iLike. Next up is WooMe, the online speed dating site. There's a lot of online dating sites. They were really the first to do the speed dating. It seems like that's taken off. They've got a fair amount of growth in users. A lot of people are liking it. It seems like it's becoming a little bit more now, a place to meet and other people, not just date, but primarily a dating site. Let's listen to Stephen Stokels, and we'll go from there.
Hello, I'm Stephen Stokels. I'm the founder and CEO of WooMe. We're revolutionizing the way that people meet. So essentially what we've done is developed an online speed dating platform that leverages in-browser voice and video technologies, so no Skype downloads, no client downloads, all in the browser, seamless for the user, which enables people to meet in these topical speed dating sessions in a fun, fast, and free fashion.
Carol, compared to the other online dating sites out there, I mean, Match.com growing fast. It's a crowded field, but again, big trend behind it. Growth industry. People are comfortable meeting on the web now.
When in '95, or actually even in 2000, there was a stigma behind online dating, and now there's 35 million people that are looking for dates online. But when I look at this, when I look at his pitch, I think Match.com meets Meetup meets YouTube meets Craigslist. I mean, there's a number of things going on, and a number of ways you can actually apply that service.
Yeah.
I think you can apply the service in a number of ways. The name and the brand WooMe, I would be very creeped out by trying to find a roommate on WooMe. I think people maybe roommate for a short period of time. I don't know if I'm going to find the person I want to live with on WooMe, but I do believe because of the audience and the folks who are going to be going there and what